having taken a look at how Archie was constructed, we thought it would be interesting to look at how a real supercomputer is put together. So here we have some time-lapse photography of the Marconi system being put in, which is a large Tier 0 system for Prace, which is located at the Cinica Supercomputing Center at Bologna in Italy. And you'll see here they're putting in the infrastructure. There's some fairly heavy engineering going on, welding and such like, to put in all the services which are required. And the main one here is you're seeing the cooling infrastructure, the pipes which carry the water which cools the main machine. Next we can start laying the raised floor, which sits above all the pipework, and the supercomputer cabinets will actually sit on top of this raised floor. Now we jump forward quite a bit and you can see the raised floor is practically complete. And what they're doing now is they're working on the ceiling. They're attaching these rows of trays to the ceiling, and we'll see later why these are needed. Now the major infrastructure work is complete, and we're just having a bit of a spruce up, a clean and a tidy to make sure that the machine room is spotless before the arrival of the main system. Now the system engineers are having various conferences and conversations just to make sure they're well prepared, that they all know what they're doing before the arrival of the cabinets. Now the cabinets start to arrive, and you can see we take out tiles in the raised floor so we can move the cabinets into the right place and connect them to the infrastructure below. Now we can't see exactly what's going on the right hand side. When the first row goes in, we'll get a better view of the second row. But it's worth looking at these cabinets. You'll see that they're about the size of a door. They're very deep, but their profile is about the size of a door, and that's because they have to get through a standard door to get into the machine room. You'll see as the second row goes in, it goes in very, very quickly. The tiles are taken up, the cabinets are put in place, and they're all connected up, and there we have a completed second row. Just a little bit more work to the floor on the second row, and then we're ready for putting the third row in. And here it comes, just the same procedure. Take up a tile, move the cabinet into place, and connect it up. So you'll see very quickly we have 3 rows of cabinets comprising the main supercomputer, but you might ask, where's the networking? Networking a real supercomputer is a lot more work than networking a small toy machine like Archie, and you'll see there's lots of people involved here laying and connecting cables, and we immediately see what these raised trays are for. They're there to carry the cables between the cabinets to keep them neat and tidy away from the cabinets and keep them so they're not all tangled up. So we've largely finished the cabling, the interconnect on the second row. Now they're working on the third row. And as you'll see, there's a lot of human work here, and that is because although supercomputers are made by a few manufacturers, they're quite similar to each other. Each individual installation is largely bespoke. This Marconi system, which is delivered by Lenovo, is of a certain class, but it won't be the same as any other particular machine. It will be slightly different, and so each machine has to be constructed very carefully to make sure it all works together. And so here we have people doing the final networking. And also what they're doing is you'll see they're bringing out these power cables onto the top. In this system, the power is actually delivered from the ceiling as well. And so we won't see it in this video, but in the final system, these cables are attached up the way into power which comes in above. That's as far as this video goes in the construction of Marconi. I hope you found that interesting and instructive.